I don't want to. Hi, this video is about informing people about the new policies Google's G Suite's enforcing in regards to the way your items are being held in the bin in Google Drive. So when you log into Google Drive, you may be receiving this message that as of 13th of October, any items which are in the bin for older than 30 days will automatically get deleted. Or you might have gotten this email, which again explains that in a bit more detail. But a few other points I wanted to highlight were, so this trash affects on any device. So whether you're using Google Drive on your mobile or any other device, again, all items in that trash bin will be removed after 30 days. And any files that you are using in shared drives, even a lot of people aren't aware that in shared drives that also has its own trash. So if anyone deletes files within there, it goes into that trash. Then after 30 days, again, that's removed and no one will be able to access those files in the future. So not only that, there's some other issues around file retention that people might not be aware of, which I would just want to briefly bring to everyone's attention. So with Gmail, that has that similar policy, and it's always been in place where any emails will go into the trash once deleted, and again after 30 days they're permanently removed. Files can accidentally be deleted or changed by others in Google Drive. We see this quite regularly. Simple mistakes can happen, and then if you don't capture that within 30 days, then that can be a severe problem. Sometimes you can have issues with syncing apps, so Drive File Stream or Backup and Sync or any other app. It might do a double sync, or there might be inconsistencies. This can especially happen if you don't have a reliable internet connection. So sometimes you might have rogue applications. So any third-party applications might be interacting with Google Drive. And again, these can sometimes manipulate the data or cause problems. Also, departing employees, we've seen this happen in the past where sometimes when staff leave the company, might not be on the best of terms. They might find that they've got some emails that they didn't want the boss to see, so they go in and wipe all their emails. Or again, they might have files in Google Drive which they thought they've done all this work and they don't want to leave back for the company to keep, and they might delete them as well. And finally, hacking and ransomware. Again, over the years, we've seen quite a bit of this. People don't have enough security on their G Suite account, and hackers or cyber criminals can send phishing emails, get the credential for that account, log in, and we've seen things called ransom cloud, where they can actually encrypt all your emails and Google Drive files, making it unaccessible for you. And if you try to click on the file, it asks for you to pay a ransom, usually in Bitcoin, to get access to that file. And if you don't pay, you don't get the files back. So the solution to all this is to have a third-party backup or backup of some sort. So just as you would with your local server in your office or your computer, you always need to have data backups. And it's a false belief to think that if you've got data in the cloud that it's backed up by Google. That's not true. As you can see, it's only will be backed up for 30 days, and then from then onwards you're on your own. So we recommend a third-party cloud-to-cloud backup service known as a SaaS backup. And some important things to consider when choosing a third-party, another company to back up your G Suite. You need to consider how long do you need your backups to be there for? Is the last 12 months sufficient, or do you need many years of backups in the cloud? So we call that retention. How much data do you have? Some backup providers only have a certain amount of storage they allow you to back up to, while others do unlimited. So you need to consider that. Does your backup cover shared drives? So again, if you're using shared drives, some backup providers don't do that. Most of them are doing that these days, though, but you definitely need to check that because that's where the majority of your data will be. Where is the support located? So this can be important, especially if you're here in Australia. If it's a US company, it can be quite difficult to get onto them to get support, especially with billing and tech support. Different time zones can be frustrating. How much does it cost? And do they charge for your X account? So when staff leave, are you still having to pay to keep that data backed up with that provider? Some charge, some don't. So here we just wanted to talk about three particular products that we've used quite heavily over the years. So Spanning, we've used the most. So we've been using these guys for almost the last 10 years. And here you can see a quick demo of how it sort of works. And I've got a list of pros and cons of three of these providers which we use heavily, just to sort of give you an understanding of maybe some which are out there and which you want to look for. So some of the pros with Spanning Backup. We found it's got the best interface. It's very simple to use. It's actually designed for end users to easily restore their own data. So you don't need your IT admins to have to do this every time. It's got the most features. Just sort of more incremental, in-depth to restore individual files or whole folders. You can restore back to, pick particular dates, store points. It's got really good search functionality. And it is most popular in the market. So some cons for this, you need to pay for the licenses annually at the moment. So, as the business grows, that's fine. But if the business was to reduce in size, you're still committed to pay for that license, which can be a bit wasteful. They are the most expensive we've come across, especially because it's US pricing as well. We have had issues with their customer service, especially around billing. They do take a couple of days to sort of get back to us, and can be a lot of backwards and forwards trying to sort of sort things out, which my accounts team has flagged with me and is very frustrated with at times. And even the help desk getting tech support can be a bit frustrating at times. So they've got room to improve there. Also, if you're using Google Sites or not using Google Sites, we find by default it always comes up with backup errors around backing up Google Sites, especially if it's not in use. To just, sort of for these false positive errors might alarm you, but usually it's to do with Google Sites. So hopefully they'll fix that bug. It's not actually a true unlimited backup, even though they say it is. So we've had some clients, especially in the design, graphic designers or video editors, they've got terabytes of data, and basically after a year when it was up for renewal, Spanning told us, hey, we're no longer going to support these guys because they've just got too much data. So it's not really true unlimited, and therefore we've had to move those clients onto different SaaS backup providers. It's difficult to manage ex-staff. So, with this, you are paying per user, and when staff do leave, it continues to pay for that license, so it can be costly. And it's up to you to manually go in and remove that staff backup and export it somewhere else if you want to stop paying to keep that backup of those ex staff, because it will get costly over the years. Especially if you've got high turnover of staff, you end up paying far more in regards to ex staff than current staff. So the next product is backupify. So these guys have been the longest in the market, just a little bit longer than Spanning. They were the actual first G Suite backup solution. They do actually offer true unlimited backups, and we have tested this. So a few clients we moved across from Spanning because of that large file limit, put them on backupify, and we haven't had any problems with that same amount of data. They're happy to keep backing up many terabytes of data, even if you've only got a few accounts backing up. Another benefit is you don't pay for ex-staff licenses. They've also got better payment terms, 60 days, and they pay per month, so you can scale it up and scale it down as you need. There's no sort of contract. A couple of negative things. So their product around Office 365 backup is more advanced than G Suite. They're sort of, I suppose, Office 365 is a bigger market, so they've put more resources into developing that than G Suite. So it's not as feature rich. This is again in US pricing, so the dollar fluctuation can be a bit expensive. As I mentioned, it's not as feature rich or user friendly as spanning. The interface isn't as nice as you can see here. And then finally, Continuum. So these are ones we've recently got onto. And we found them the most cost-effective solution. Their support is local here in Australia. So they got Australia billing and support, which is much easier to manage. These guys also offer true unlimited backup. They don't come back to you and say you got too much data, as spanning does. Again, you don't pay for ex-employees. You can have as many as you want, and you're only paying for your current employees for backups. Again, pay per month, no contract. This product's ideal for managed service providers, especially if you're using ConnectWise. That's who the company's owned by. It's got a lot of integrations, notifications, and that type of thing. With cons, so with this product, the retention period is only for 1 year. So if you require longer than 1 year, you do pay a tiny bit more for how many years you need. With retention period, I mean that's how long you can recover backups for up to. So anything over than 12 months, those backups are removed by default, and the new backups are added in. But yeah, as I mentioned, you can continue that for multiple years by paying a little bit more. Similar to backupify, it's not as feature rich or user friendly to use. Yeah, that's the three products. So apart from having a good third-party backup service, we also recommend you address other areas of G Suite. We've actually created this 5 security layer model, and as you can see, continuity is step 5 by having third-party backups. So we've got 4 other really important areas which you should focus on. So take a look at our website, watch our other blogs, and we go into in depth around each of these areas to really make sure your G Suite's well secured, backed up, and you've got everything in place to prevent issues from happening in future. So thank you for your time. I'm Adrian Cosman-Jones from OnSite Helper. Visit us on our website, www.onsitehelper.com, or give us a call if you need any help with third-party backups or anything G Suite related. We're here to help. Thank you.